Welcome to the AI Chat Podcast. I'm your host, Jaden Schaefer. Every day we break down breaking AI news stories and explain their implications in your life and in business. If you are interested in seeing really interesting AI use cases, make sure to follow me over on x.com, formerly Twitter, as I will be sharing some really cool use cases of AI, and I kind of, retweet some of the greatest things I'm seeing in the space every day. So make sure to follow me at Jaden_AI. I'll drop a link to that, but also my handle is in the podcast cover. I would love to have you in the community. Have you ever wanted to start your own podcast? I record and publish podcasts on a platform called Spotify for Podcasters, and I absolutely love it. Essentially, you can upload from your phone or computer, and it distributes to every platform that plays podcasts. They support video podcasts, and you can make money on the platform with ads or even podcast subscriptions, something that has made my life so much easier as a podcaster. So if you're interested, I highly recommend you give it a try. You can download the Spotify for Podcast app or go to spotify.com/podcasters to get started on your podcast today. One of the big winners in the AI revolution and this entire AI boom that we're seeing right now is, of course, chip makers. We've seen NVIDIA surge to absolute all-time highs, even past $1 trillion valuation, as they're really focusing on AI and supplying the next generation of chips and GPUs. Now, one company that has kind of been on the, I don't want to say sidelines because they have made some plays, but definitely have not seen the same surge as NVIDIA is AMD, who consequently, I believe, is like the CEO of NVIDIA is the cousin of the CEO of AMD. So it's kind of interesting, a bit of a family business there. In any case, AMD expects some pretty massive growth. So today on the podcast, we're going to be diving into a lesser talked about company, AMD, lesser than, I guess, NVIDIA, you could say, and where we see AMD going into the future. So in a recent call with analyst, CEO Lisa Su of Advanced Micro Devices, that's what AMD stands for, is, of course, one of the leading chip makers, and she expressed her optimism about growth prospects in the PC market for the second half of this year. So despite an 18% decline in second quarter revenue that AMD saw, which is about $5.4 billion, Su reported that AMD had executed well, launching a number of new products and significantly expanding AI engagements amid the economic downturn. So while the gaming and embedded segments have experienced a, expected decline, the growth in PC client and data transfer segments remain really robust, and that has helped to maintain a steady level of sales. So Su actually reported strong sales in the quarter for the company's semi-custom SoC. This was also buoyed by healthy console demand for Microsoft and Sony, but this demand, spurred on by improved retail availability worldwide and the launch of new AAA games, is expected to contribute positively to the gaming industry. This is a quote from Su. She said, AI customer engagement grew by more than 7 times sequentially as multiple customers initiated or expanded programs supporting future developments of Instinct M1250 and M1300 hardware and software at scale. So I think in this, huge field of cloud, AMD rolled out 30 new instances in the second quarter, including multiple Genoa instances announced by AWS, Alibaba, Microsoft, and Oracle, and they have up to 1.9 times more performance in enterprise and cloud applications and 1.8 times more performance per watt than the competition. So Genoa has cemented its place as the industry's highest performance and most efficient server processor, according to Su. But moving forward, I think the company, AMD, really anticipates double-digit percentage growth in EPYC server chip revenue in the third quarter. Su actually attributed this to the expanding 4th-gen EPYC CPU ramp. She said, in supercomputing, EPYC and Instinct processors continue to be the solution of choice for the most powerful supercomputers in the world, powering 121 of the fastest systems on the last top 500 list and 7 of the 10 most efficient systems on the Green 500 list. So I think AMD's AI strategy, as outlined by Su, really revolves around 3 central points. The first one being delivering a really broad portfolio of leadership GPUs, CPUs, and adaptive computing solutions for AI inferences and training, and then finally extending the open and proven software platforms that enable AI hardware deployments at large scale. and of course, nurturing the deep and collective partnerships established across the ecosystem to accelerate deployments of AMD-based AI solutions. So obviously a fairly comprehensive strategy, but I think that it's going to really help catapult them into the forefront with AI, because up until this point, we've really just seen NVIDIA kind of taking over this space. I think in the second quarter, AMD announced the kind of forthcoming launch of new Instinct MI300X GPUs, which are designed to be the world's most advanced accelerators for generative AI. And these next-gen GPUs are going to feature the industry's largest memory footprint and also fastest memory bandwidth, which are really crucial factors for AI inference performance. So initial shipments are expected to start in the fourth quarter, and this could really help catapult AMD as these start coming onto the market. As for the PC market, Su, the CEO of AMD, anticipates growth in the second half of the year, driven by AMD's really robust kind of product portfolio and also increasing adoption of the Ryzen 7000 CPUs. She said, quote, "We see AI as a significant PC demand driver as Microsoft and other large software providers incorporate generative AI into their offerings." And she indicated that she sees a really revolutionary shift in the PC experience because of this. So AMD also expanded its Radeon 7000 GPU series in the second quarter with the introduction of mainstream RX 7600 cards for 1080p gaming. And the company plans to further expand their RDNA3 GPU offerings with the launch of new enthusiast-classed Radeon 7000 series cards in the third quarter. So Su concluded with a note of optimism. Really, she's feeling quite optimistic about where she sees this going, and AMD's future in the AI domain. And I think that that's really going to be key if she wants to continue growing AMD and catapulting it into the future. So she described it as a multi-billion-dollar growth opportunity across cloud, edge, and an increasingly diverse number of intelligent endpoints. She said, quote, "In the data center alone, we expect the market for AI accelerators to reach over $150 billion by 2027. And that's her prediction. So it's going to be really interesting to see if it reaches that levels, and to see if AMD is able to ride this wave, to see if the planning that AMD is currently doing and their, because really what it comes down to is their predictions of where they think the market is going dictates the products that they create. So it's going to be interesting to see if these predictions are accurate or if there's going to be some other curveball that gets thrown into the market that, essentially makes it so they're not able to capitalize on, the market trends and where the market's going. So this is going to be really interesting to follow AMD and see how they continue to evolve, and if their predictions that they have currently been making with their current products are able to hit the mark and propel them forward.
This episode is brought to you by Shopify. That's the sound of switching your business to Shopify, the global commerce platform that supercharges your selling. Harness the best converting checkout and same intuitive features, trusted apps, and powerful analytics used by the world's leading brands. Stop leaving sales on the table. Discover why millions trust Shopify to build, grow, and run their business. Sign up today for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/tech23.
Thank you for listening to the AI Chat podcast. If you enjoyed this podcast, I'd appreciate it if you rate us wherever you listen to your podcast. And if you're looking for an innovative group of AI enthusiasts, make sure to check out our Discord channel and Facebook community. It's obviously a lot more interactive than a podcast where we can share software, tools, and prompts we're using in AI every day. I'll leave a link for those in the description below.